Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird, true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 612, written by Raptorhellokitty, The Maze of Oblivion. These events happened in 2011, and I still don't have a logical explanation for them. I was doing a year abroad in the south coast of Britain to learn English. We were students between 16 and 18 years old, living in host families, so we didn't have much money or anything to do besides chilling outside or going to the beach in our free time. A Friday afternoon, we met two students from another school at the beach, and they asked us, my best friend and I, if we wanted to join them for a drinking night near their campus tonight. We said yes and invited some of our friends to the evening too. Some of us wanted to go home to take a shower or change our clothes, but me, my best friend, and two men from our friend group were living too far away, so we decided to go to the park next to the campus and wait there for everyone, as the weather was perfect. We didn't know that place at all. We walked 30 minutes from the beach following our new friend's instructions. We were staying on a bench in the middle of a big park. Then my best friend and I went for a walk because we needed to pee. We were chatting and laughing. I remember the sky because it was sunset at golden hour. We wanted to explore the park a little bit because it had a beautiful garden. I remember seeing a green maze and asking my best friend to go there, and nothing else. With my best friend, we both woke up at 8:30 in her bed in her host family's home. We were wearing pajamas, feeling great and nothing messy in the room. What the hell? We opened Facebook to ask everybody what happened last night, and nobody had an answer. The problem is, we had a reputation of being outgoing and unpredictable, so when they didn't see us coming back, the boys didn't take it seriously and started drinking without giving a damn about us. Later, other people joined and everybody thought we were back home. We didn't know the road from the park to her home, didn't have smartphones or maps, didn't have money for taxi or public transportation. Some more information. This was a 12-hour complete memory loss, sunset at 8 p.m. Alcohol was present, but we didn't drink yet. No drugs, and we were all underage students. Every house/road looked the same in the city, and we didn't know the neighborhood at all. My best friend's host family didn't hear us coming back either. No injury, no hangovers, or dizziness. It happened at Guildridge Park, plus Manor Gardens, but what gives me goosebumps is that I don't see that maze anymore on maps. It's just not there. Or was it ever there? 10 years later, it still bothers me. We were best friends in England, but haven't seen each other since then. I managed to find her on Instagram and asked her if that's all in my head or if she is also still freaked out by this. She has no explanation and tries not to think about it anymore. It makes her feel uneasy. I'm glad because some people don't believe my story. Case notes, file number 612. You mentioned that the maze wasn't there on Google Maps. No small detail, I think. This sounds like hypnotism, to be made to see something that doesn't exist in physical reality. The reason I like this glitch is because two people are involved. That distills the mundane possibilities out, or far down. Could one single person blank out and forget what happened in a night, through drugs or even a medical condition? Sure, it's rare, but sure. Two people, though, at exactly the same time? Odds of that are astronomical. So dare I say aliens again? I'm not sure what else could create a memory loss of this type and so suddenly. My guess is that when aliens abduct us, they implant false memories into our minds, and if they're unable to implant them, or they don't stick, they either kill the subject or erase their memories. Or hell, maybe this tech of theirs is flawed. Maybe they don't always know if the implanted memory has taken hold in the subject. You see that maze, and perhaps it's only what you both are made to remember. It's your brains trying to suggest to you something is off. The memories are there but lost, inaccessible. By the way, hypnotherapy can be helpful to retrieve repressed memories, but I do advise caution if you pursue that avenue. Maybe it's best not to scratch at that barrier. As Death would say, don't tear at the wall, because what's behind it, you might not like. Case file number 613, written by Win Creative 3773, The Secretive Grimm Hotel. This one's been on my mind for quite a while now. I've been wanting to get people's opinions for a while, but I never really dared to. So here I go. In 2018, a group of friends from college and I decided to go spend a month in Berlin over the summer. We spent our time between part-time jobs, partying, and just simply enjoying the city and its cultural activities. Everyone in the group was cycling, but not me. We had a bit of a bike situation with mine, and so I decided to spend the rest of our time there on foot or using the U-Bahn, metro. It wasn't that much of a bother until we decided to go and party near the River Spree. This place has bars and clubs, and it's overall a great place to party. But from what I recall, public transportation didn't go that far in the middle of the night. They had all cycled there, so I was the only one without means to go back to our apartment. It was a 20-minute cycle from the bar, but it was at least a 35-minute walk. A friend of mine, I'll call her Eva for the sake of the story, decided to walk back with me and just take her bike next to her so as to not leave me alone wandering the city in the middle of the night. It was about 4 a.m. Now arrives the glitch. As we were walking down this rather big street and chatting, I remember smelling food and seeing this restaurant past the pedestrian crossing to which we were headed. I'm a foodie and I was rather hungry, so that was pretty appealing. A woman was sitting there having food, black hair. I could see her profile through the large windows which took up almost the entire wall, up to the ceiling. I specifically remember thinking, damn, that's weird they're still open at this time of night. I gotta tell Eva when the flow of the conversation allows. As I was walking and starting to cross the road, the crossing in front of the restaurant, things got blank and it's like I was on autopilot. I was hearing her voice kinda muffled. Once we were past the restaurant, Eva stopped, turned to me and said, "Wait, wasn't there a restaurant just there with a woman eating?" I had completely forgotten to tell her. It's like my memory had been wiped and restored within seconds. And there it was, a hotel. The large windows were the same, and inside was the hotel's restaurant with a layout and tables that looked nothing like what we saw now. No woman was eating there either. We were both very shocked and saw that the receptionist, male, short hair, was in there, and I knew we just had to ask him if somebody was eating there just now. It was just too freaking weird. He was kind of freaked out about us coming in like that and said he'd been alone for hours. After discussing with Eva, we found out that she saw the woman eating, but she only saw her back. She was seated with her back to the window. When I could tell this woman was Asian because as she was seated, her profile was showing to me. After that, Eva never wanted to talk about it again. Even got pissed when I tried to bring it up. Also, people seemed to have changed around me after this event. Even my mom didn't remember something she should have. A lot of people seemed different overall. I must also note that I wasn't drunk at all and staying up this late was really uncommon for me at that stage. Oh, and fun fact, the name of the hotel is the Grimm Hotel, in reference to the author of many fairy tale stories. This story is true though. It's on Alte Jakobstrasse in Berlin Mitte, if you want to look it up. Any thoughts? Bonus file, written by Gas Station Clerk, the Wormhole gas stations. Back in June of 2021, I had moved, and while driving, we went through Wisconsin. I can't really remember the town or anything, so sorry for that, but it was around 2 or 3 in the morning. We had stopped to try and get gas, but when we got into one town, it was like a ghost town. Absolutely no cars or anything. And while yes, it was pretty early, keep in mind we had seen plenty of cars up to this point. But regardless, we noticed a gas station and it was lit up, all the lights on inside, an open light glowing and everything. Yet, when we got closer and tried going into the doors, they were locked, and even went around the back looking for a car and nothing, not to mention all the gas pumps said, out of order. We got back in the car, not really thinking anything of it, until we found another gas station maybe a block away, and I'm not even joking when I say the exact same thing happened. So by now I was a bit put off, but I wasn't about to convince myself we entered some weird wormhole until it happened a third time. At this point, I didn't even want to get out of the car, but I needed to stretch my legs. When I did get out though, and my friend who was driving went to the doors, yet again nothing. When he was on his way back to the car, there was a blood-curdling scream. It genuinely made me sick to my stomach, And keep in mind, it was so freaking quiet up to this point. But we made our way back out of there as fast as we could and didn't see any cars until we got back on the highway. And after that, after getting settled in my apartment, me and my roommates just didn't feel well. When I was unpacking with one of them, something fell twice and we still don't know what it was. A few days later, my other roommate had said she felt like there was something in the apartment. Granted, I'm a paranoid person by default, so I don't know what the hell to call this. It was just a weird experience and a great story to tell, but it is persistent.